Well, hello, sports fans. Larry Eater, Run Blog Run. Today is Conversations with Larry, of course, a monologue where I wax poetically on something about the sport. And our conversation with Larry today is about the World Indoor and why I loved it. It was magnificent, not maleficent, magnificent. Okay, so March 18th, 20, Belgrade, Serbia. Stuart Weir was there. I was sitting in Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin. How did I view it? I watched it through Peacock TV, which gave me the global feed where I heard Rob Walker, Hannah England, and our friend Jenny Meadows chat. No American announcers. I did not watch anything on NBC. Peacock gave me, 9 to 11 hours a day. And I will tell you, I watched every hour. And Mr. Walker, Hannah, and Jenny filled it with the right amount of commentary and let us actually watch the races. No advertising either. It was pretty tremendous. Somebody out there at Peacock should figure out how to get a sponsor together to sponsor the whole thing. I think someone like Johnny Walker, or Basil Hayden, and I'll even sell it for him. But anyway, it was a magnificent show. What did we do during that time? I was putting out about 35 to 40 tweets an hour and also notices on Facebook and about 5 on Instagram. And Stuart was writing 17 stories over 3 days. But I also had Deji Ogonyegbo writing a story a day. And on the final day, he wrote 2. And Justin Legatt was writing for us as well. So we were putting up 9 to 10 stories a day. Good readership, but I think most of our readers do, is they watch the programming and then they follow our stuff alongside, like they do during the Diamond League and during the Continental Tour events. We've created kind of a fun way of doing things. We encourage people to watch the programming on terrestrial TV or streaming, and then we try to provide commentary a little bit out of the ordinary. I used to just put up results and stuff. Now I talk a little bit something about the race, something I saw while viewing the race, something I heard from one of our many listeners or keen observers sitting in the stands, because I'll get a note, hey, Larry, you missed this, blah, 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 blah. So that's how we try to provide you a little bit behind the scenes to give you a little better view. World Athletics should be applauded. They did a great job in covering the meet. Great stories on their site, a lot of in-depth. European Athletics did some great things as well. USATF did their coverage, and I am working through the flash quotes right now to try to figure out what stories that I still need to do. So I will be doing that and keeping you updated. But it was about the performances, and I think that for a lot of the athletes, having a crowd in the Stark Arena in Belgrade, I've been there. I was there in 2017 for the European Indoor Championships, which I loved. It was my first time in Serbia, and the people were lovely. I walked late at night and felt safe, and I bummed in and out of the stadium. Well, they had me sitting on kind of an isthmus where I was right in front of the long jump bits. I had a great view of all the races, and it was a lot of fun. And then there was an espresso stand to help me right behind my seats, so I could avoid falling asleep, and because the jet lag thing sometimes can be a challenge. With 619 athletes coming from 129 countries, I thought it was well represented. The second day was amazing to me. 10 events on that day, and the gold medalists from 10 different countries. Ethiopia won the most gold medals when they won 1, 2, 3. I believe they won 4. The most medals were won by the U.S. at 19, lots of bronze and lots of silvers. What was interesting on the U.S. side, for the first time in a long, long time, neither the men nor the women medaled at all in the 4x4 relay. On the men's side, it was because Isaiah Harris, who had competed in the 800 and came back in the 4x4, I don't know if he had a muscle pull or a muscle cramp. He very, very painfully finished the 400 and the U.S. team ran a 3:09.5, missing the cutoff of 3:09.28 by being a 3:09.51. It was most unfortunate because Isaiah put everything he could into there. And I have no issue with Isaiah. I think he should have been allowed to run and things happen. On the U.S. women's side, they were battling till the very last 50 meters when they went from silver to bronze to fourth. And that was most unfortunate as well. I don't believe we'll have that situation in Eugene at the World Outdoors, which happens in July. But this meet was tremendous. Great performances. 3 world records on the last day. Grant Holloway equaled his 7:29 in the hurdles in the semis. Then you had Yulimar Rojas at 15:74 in the triple jump. Yulimar Rojas is a total stud. I mean, she's amazing. She makes everything look easy. I understand she's looking at competing in the long jump and the triple jump in Eugene, and I think she can medal in both. Mary Beth Romanchuk from Ukraine almost did that. She medaled on her last jump in the triple jump and came rather close in the long jump. I just think she was tired. Mondo Duplantis, what can you say about Mondo except 6:20? His first 2 jumps were woefully short. His third jump was inspired. He cleared it. It was close, but he cleared it. Apparently, a group in Europe, a media group in Europe, is going around saying that he can go 6:25. I think he can go 6:30 before the end of his career. He's that talented, and that's a huge amount. It's probably 10 more world records because I think he'll go a centimeter at a time, a la Mr. Bubka. As you know, Mr. Bubka set 34 world records. Some say 36. Back in the 90s, in the early 2000s, and he was paid handsomely for every centimeter by his sponsor, Nike. And he became a budding capitalist. We were thinking of Sergey now as he leads the Ukraine Olympic Committee, and he's working with World Athletics on, one, helping Ukraine athletes, but also promoting his country during this terrible time where Russia has been the aggressor. No way to say it. It's just that's what they're doing, and trying to destroy another sovereign country, which is unacceptable in any time. But the world indoors, I think, gave a message to the world there too. You have Yaroslava Mahushik, who won the high jump. She's from Dnipro, and on February 24th, she woke up to shelling and an attack by the Russian war machine, who claimed they were going in to denazify the Ukraine, which is rather humorous on many levels. And most of them are pretty obvious, considering that their president is of Jewish descent and his family survived the Holocaust. But, why put facts in the way of a Putin story? The other part of it was that when she got to 2 meters, Yaroslava took 3 attempts to get over. A little bit of drama. Was she going to be able to do it? The Australian Patterson was competing very well. It already cleared 2 meters. Yaroslava came back and cleared 2:02, just like that. It was all back. There was that moment of doubt that all athletes have, moment of challenge, where they've got to look into themselves and decide what are they made of that day. And when you see great performances, I think that's what's going on. I don't think anything is automatic. Yes, we talk about reinforcing the neuromuscular loop. That was a comment Coach Riggs made over at San Jose State to my old training partner, Danny Gruber. And he'd remind me of that when Danny and Tim and I were training, doing 300s, and I didn't want to do anymore. And he said, you got to reinforce that neuromuscular loop, baby. So that's what we did. But it's about also knowing that when you're in a place of crisis, when you're in a place of stress, how does your body react to that? How do you spiritually react to that? And sports, as we know, is more than physical. It's the spiritual, it's the mental, it's the psychological. It's the desire to excel. It's the desire to find what someone is made of. And we saw that in all the events of the indoor championships in Belgrade, Serbia, March 18th through 20th. It was a fantastic event. Thank you first to the athletes, Thank you to the sponsors in World Athletics for putting it on, and also finding a way that we can view it in over 100 plus countries. Thanks to our friends at Peacock TV, who did a great job. It makes it so easy pulling up my iPad and hooking it up to my TV and getting to watch great track and field, which is what we'll be doing all this spring. But a World Indoor Championships with a crowd, what a concept. First time in 4 years for World Indoor Champs. First time in 2.5 years for a huge crowd. Tokyo didn't have a big crowd. USATF had kind of a good crowd, and so did the Olympic trials, which were fantastic. But I think that this really is starting to tell us that we're going to have challenges. I don't know if the pandemic's ever going to go away, but I think we're going to be able to have good outdoor events. And keep your fingers crossed. It should be a wonderful season with the U.S. Championships in June, the NCAA Championships in June, the Prefontaine in May. We're going to have a new meet at Icon Stadium in early June. We're going to have the World Champs in July. We're going to have the Commonwealth Games end of July into August, and the European Championships at the end of August, plus the Diamond League, plus 140 Continental Tour meets. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Plus our friends at Sound Running are going to put on some fun events too, and miles of trials. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. But we're saluting the World Indoor Championships, which happened March 18th through 20th in Belgrade, Serbia. Thanks again to Mike Deering for our creative and production manager at the Shoe Addicts for producing this today. Stay safe, get your workout in today, and tell somebody you care about them.